Round 6, the final round of the Vantage Aluminium New Zealand Rally Championship, and we're in Nelson, located at the top of the South Island. This event, run over one day, will be decided on the forestry roads just south of the Nelson Township. Now let's look back and review what's happened in the championship so far, which started in Otago earlier in the year with two international drivers, Scotland's Alistair McRae and American Ken Block, deciding to enter the championship. But it was defending champion Richard Mason who set the pace at Otago, winning the event from Emma Gilmore, who showed stunning pace at her home event. It all changed in round 2 at Whangarei, with Mason losing out after going off the road and Emma Gilmore crashing heavily. Dean Sumner showed good pace till he hit a bridge. However, the star was rookie and junior champion Hayden Padden, who secured his first New Zealand Championship win, Sam Murray in second place. It was business as usual for Richard Mason on his home event, Wairarapa, winning convincingly over Dean Sumner and Hayden Padden to take the championship lead. Mason missed the fourth round at Hawke's Bay, and it was Dean Sumner who came home with the rally win, beating the consistent Sam Murray. Round 5 was Rally New Zealand, and Hayden Padden was the championship leader. However, gearbox issues saw his challenge drop away. Richard Mason was clearly the fastest, but mechanical problems slowed him on both days, while Dean Sumner's rally ended when the Mitsubishi ran out of fuel. That left Scotland's Alistair McRae to win the event, the first foreign driver to win a New Zealand championship round. Sam Murray came home second, and his consistency has paid off. He enjoys a 20-point lead coming into the final round here at Nelson. Now let's check out those points, and it's Sam Murray with that 20-point lead over Hayden Padden. Richard Mason is third. He's the only other driver with a chance of winning the title. Known as Mr. Consistency, Sam Murray only has to finish 6th place or better to secure the gold star.
Sam, you've got everything to lose tomorrow, I guess.
We're pretty comfortable where we are. We came away from Rally NZ, if we thought we could have a 10-point lead, then we back ourselves, and we've doubled that with a 20. So, no one can control, mechanical glitches or what anyone else does. So we're just going to go out there tomorrow and enjoy the day and have fun.
Tomorrow could be your biggest day in rallying.
Yeah. It is all there to win, obviously. So that's our intention tomorrow. And, barring anything silly going wrong for us or anyone else, then yeah, it should be a good day.
After a very impressive season and getting better with every rally, Hayden Padden has a shot at this year's title.
Hayden, you're in a must-win situation.
It's a bit like that, yeah. Not just for our championship hopes, but we also want to finish the season on a high. So we're going to go out there and basically throw caution to the wind and just give it our best shot and try and win the rally.
Defending champion Richard Mason will need his other two rivals to have problems if he's to retain his title.
Championship-wise, you're in, I guess, a must-win situation.
Yeah, sure. We need to win here, and we need Sam to have a few issues. And more or less not get to the finish for us to take a third title.
With bad luck hampering Dean Sumner throughout the season, he's proved he has the pace. Remember, he won here last year.
Dean, great memories of this event from last year.
Yeah, Nelson's always been pretty good to us. I seem to enjoy the faster roads, and I really enjoy it. It's been great. Yeah.
You're out of the championship in terms of winning it. What's the plan for this weekend?
Haven't really got anything to lose, so only just a car really. So we're going to give it all we've got and hopefully finish in the top 3, all going well. Hopefully just really after a nice clean run with no problems.
The Ford Fiesta title has come down to a straight fight between championship leader Kane Barry, who has a 5-point advantage coming into this round, and a hard-charging Mark Tapper.
Kane, you've got a 5-point lead, but Mark Tapper's coming at you.
Yeah, he certainly is. It's basically come down to being at ground zero again, really. Whoever wins.
What's your plan for this weekend?
We've made a few changes, and we've watched a fair bit of in-car to try and improve our corner speed and bits and pieces. So we're basically just going to come out as hard and fast as we can and see what we can do.
Mark, a must-win situation this weekend for you?
Yeah, it is. We were helped at Rally NZ a bit with Chris finishing in front of Kane on both days. So at least all I've got to worry about is myself down here, and we'll go out and win.
The Murray brothers could create history. However, Robert Murray must win the Nelson round to have any chance of retaining his classic crown.
Well, it could be a good day for the Murray family. Of course, your brother Sam could win the championship as well.
Yeah, it'd be great. My dad and mum have come down. Dad goes to every rally, has for years, but mum's come down to this one. Last year was special for Main Freight. 20 years since Neil Allport won the championship in 86. 2006 we won it. If two brothers could do well in the championship this year, it would be pretty special.
The man who could stop Murray is Ewan Fuge. Fuge only has to finish second and he will become the new classic champion.
Tomorrow could be a big day for you. 8-point lead in the championship.
It is a big day, and 8 points isn't much. Like I have to finish second if Bert wins it, and I'm not even going to try and stay with him.
As championship leader Sam Murray leads the field away, let's check out the stages with our Vantage Aluminium Joinery stage preview.
Rally Nelson starts a small town of Wakefield this year. First stage, Shirtcliffs, is a great stage to start the morning. If you're not on the case, you'll be definitely left behind. Starts off really, really fast in parts before dropping down to the valley floor with some great spectator points. Stage 2, Tress Valley, is another great stage. All of the stages in Nelson are generally pretty fast, mixed in with some tighter, twistier sections. Tyre wear can be a real problem. After service at Tapawera, we head back out to repeat these two stages. Will be a bit different this time around with the roads being swept, and we might take a harder tyre that will last a bit better. Other thing to watch out for this time around will be some of the big rocks that get pulled out, and it's another feature of the Nelson Rally, and that is trying to avoid the punctures. After service, we head out to 3 new stages. Katua's Road hasn't been used recently, but a fantastic stage, some awesome yumps in the middle before a famous ford at the end. Next stage, Stades Road, a little bit shorter this stage, but again, fast. Real big, wide open roads, it should be a real blast. Stage 7, Schultz Road, just a short stage this one, but goes through the spectator area of stage 2 and 4. Will be really swept and will give the tyres a real hard time. After the final service park of the season, we head back out to Katua's and Stades Road. It's definitely not all over, anything could still happen. With very swept roads, there's still a high risk of punches. Then head back to Nelson for the end of season party and the celebration of the New Zealand Rally Champion for 2007.
It's an overcast day with rain predicted that greets the crews for the first stage, 34k through Shirtcliffs 1. Sam Murray starts number 1 on the road for the first time this season, and will the road sweeper roll slow him down? Murray did struggle through the stage, managing only the 7th fastest time. The pressure is already on. He has to finish 6th or better to take the championship. Defending champion Richard Mason is in a must-win situation to have any chance of regaining his crown. With astonishing speed at the previous round on Rally New Zealand, can he bring that momentum into this event?
Well, if he does bring that momentum, we're in for some big fireworks. But already on the road there, you can see the big rocks. Now, this is what worries the competitors, getting punches from these rocks thrown out on the road.
Do you want to change anything? 13.6 right.
Mason also struggled through the opening test, 4th fastest, however already 22 seconds ahead of Sam Murray. Also in a must-win situation is Hayden Padden. However, unlike previous rounds, he's familiar with the terrain, having done this event many times.
And of course, that'll be a big help for Hayden Padden, because all the events he's done earlier in the year, he's never done them before. And you can see him going through there, a little bit of understeer already early on, but we expect this man to be very fast today.
Scorched through the first stage, winning the stage already 17 seconds ahead of Mason and a whopping 40 seconds ahead of Sam Murray. Dean Sumner could upset the points flow for the top 3. He won here last year, and after a disappointing Rally New Zealand, Sumner is determined to set the record straight.
And a big cut Dean Sumner's just taken there. You can see the roads here at Nelson are very fast. This could suit this Mitsubishi driver.
And a great start for Sumner, 2nd fastest, only 4.1 seconds down on Hayden Padden. After hitting a rock earlier in the stage, Chris West struggled, recording the 9th fastest time. Also struggling was Emma Gilmore.
100, all right plus. Crest, short 6 left, plus tightens to 5 plus. 30.
10th fastest and 45 seconds down on the rally leader. After a mixed bag this season, Dylan Turner was looking forward to a better run at Nelson. He's known as a good starter and has surprised at times with his speed, even winning the odd stage, and once again a good start, 6th fastest. Stuart Taylor recorded the 8th fastest through Special Stage 1. The showdown is looming between Nathan Thomas and Callum McInnes, locked in 5th equal in the championship. The battle resumes. McInnes only half half a second quicker than Thomas. A big surprise earlier on with his big sideways style is American visitor Ken Block, with the third fastest stage time, 0.01 of a second quicker than Richard Mason. Another early surprise was the pace of Patrick Malley, with an impressive fifth fastest stage time. Stage 2, Trass Valley 1, 24k of fast forestry roads. With a successful first stage behind him, Hayden Paddon sets his sights on stage 2. Driving with incredible commitment and speed, Paddon's looking good.
Out 6 left, tight and short 5.
And once again, Paddon throws down the challenge, increasing his rally lead with a stage-winning time of 14:32.9 over the 24k.
80.
Dean Sumner also charged on, fourth fastest, only 4.6 seconds slower than Paddon, now firmly second overall. Now, can Richard Mason charge back after the slow start on the opening stage?
No, he won't be particularly happy with that. The other gamble that Richard Mason has taken is he's running a standard gearbox in the car. The reason he's done that is to get an extra top speed on these very quick roads here at Nelson.
Mason back on the pace, second fastest stage time, only 2.4 seconds slower than Paddon, moving him into third place. After a great first stage, Ken Block is now enjoying the Nelson roads and was once again fast. Third fastest stage time, only 0.8 of a second slower than Mason.
And tightens. And halfway.
Also on the move was Chris West with a fifth fastest stage time. That saw him move up 4 places, now fifth overall. Patrick Malley dropped to 6th place overall. However, he's only 1.4 seconds behind West. After struggling through stage 1, Emma Gilmore was back on the pace.
Tightens to 4. 5 left minus, tightens to 4. Press 6 right. 5 left minus.
7th fastest through the stage, only 16.7 seconds slower than Hayden Paddon's time.
4 plus.
The big loser here was championship leader Sam Murray. The Subaru driver spun in the stage, now 8th overall, over a minute behind rally leader and rival Hayden Paddon. Stuart Taylor also struck trouble, stopped for 3 minutes in the stage and now out of contention. So the leaderboard after 2 stages makes interesting reading, with Hayden Paddon holding on to an 8.7 second rally lead. Richard Mason climbing back into 3rd place. However, look at Sam Murray, not where he wants to be, 8th place. Under tricky conditions, Hayden Paddon explains his morning so far.
It was a lot more slippery than what I thought it might have been, so but that would have been the same for everyone. And just, you know, right from the outset, just put my head down and knuckled in and got a couple of good times.
9-second lead over Dean Sumner, so is it Mitsubishi country?
I think it not necessarily Mitsubishi country. Maybe it's just a lot more even between Subaru and Mitsubishi, so I wouldn't go to the extent of saying it's an advantage anyway.
Last year's winner, Dean Sumner, again showed pace on the Nelson roads, currently 2nd in the rally.
It's been pretty hard work this morning. The roads haven't swept off at all. It was very marbly loose stones on the top, which made it felt really slow. You might find some of the guys down the back of the field coming through and doing quicker times, but we repeat those same 2 stages now, so the roads will be swept off and we should be able to change that.
Richard Mason struggled early on, but he's currently 3rd overall.
Yeah, it's not quite where we wanted to be at the start, but it's early days yet and we've got a fair way to go. That we made a mistake on the first lot. We should have grooved our tyres. It was maybe a little bit naive. We thought that it would be swept up enough, but there's quite a bit of bull dust on the road and it's just no grip anywhere, really. It's just quite funny.
Enjoying the conditions and finding them similar to his home rallies, Ken Block is only 0.7 of a second behind Richard Mason.
These roads suit me a little more than some of the other roads in the championship, so I just went out and went a little quick, and I don't know, it was actually surprising on the times because I haven't driven the car since I almost destroyed it down in Wanaka, and the first stage was really a shakedown for me, so I was actually kind of surprised on the time, so hopefully we can improve on that a little.
After early problems, Chris West has climbed back up the leaderboard, currently in 5th place.
We had a few dramas in the first stage with that. One of the guys obviously threw a couple of rocks out and managed to avoid one of the 2, and yeah, it gave it a wee bit of toe out on the rear to the point it punched it towards the end of the stage, so we drove out, but hey, not a lot of time lost. And
in the wars early on was Stuart Taylor.
Yeah, I had a couple of problems. Firstly, there was the stopping on the junction when the battery terminal came off and lost at least 3 minutes there. But in the stage before, we weren't very quick. Found that with the synchro box, with the very long fifth gear, now we've gone back to avgas for this round, just doesn't have the torque to pull that gear. So it was just a fight between fourth and fifth all the time just to keep the car moving. And hopefully we'll just have to battle away.
Welcome back as we join the Emma Gilmore fans on Stage 3, the repeat of Stage 1, 33 Ks through Shirtcliffs 2. Still running one on the road, the conditions have improved for Sam Murray. Now with swept roads, he was 5th fastest and moves up to 7th overall. With his slender rally lead, Hayden Paddon still has to keep pushing.
He certainly does have to keep pushing, Darcy. He wants to win this event. In fact, he has to win this event to keep his championship hopes alive. And he's looking pretty good through here.
Paddon could only manage a 3rd fastest time. However, this man, Dean Sumner, was on a charge.
3 right. He tanks 120. And 4 right through gate 30, 3 left tightens and 1 right injection. Don't cut.
Sumner's 2nd fastest through the stage, now only 7.1 seconds behind rally leader Hayden Paddon. Richard Mason is now having to contend with the rain. And Roger, will these conditions hinder his progress?
Probably not at this early stage. It's only starting to rain very lightly. But if it gets any heavier, it could be a problem.
Left and rough, 2 right cut.
Richard blasts through the stage to record his first stage win of the day, 6.2 seconds quicker than second quickest Dean Sumner. Still Mason 3rd overall, but closing in on the leaders. The more mileage Chris West does in the new Mitsubishi, the better the stage times get, 4th quickest through the stage. Emma Gilmore's nightmare season was just about to get even worse. The gearbox blew just after this junction. Gilmore now out of the event. Ken Block struggled through the stage, dropping time with a 6th fastest stage time, now 24.3 seconds down on Mason, however, still holding on to 4th place. Patrick Malley's impressive drive continues, still 6th overall. Special Stage 4, another repeat stage, same as Special Stage 2, 24K through Trass Valley 2. Now having to contend with fog and rain, but that didn't stop Hayden Paddon, winning Stage 4 by the narrow margin of 0.2 of a second. He now has a 9.3 second rally lead.
Left opens long, line. 100. Keep right crest, blip, 4 left plus, 50.
Dean Sumner was also pressing on in the terrible conditions.
Now these conditions are getting worse. The fog's coming down, it's raining. Sumner gone a little bit wide here.
And despite this half spin, Sumner still managed 3rd fastest, 2.2 seconds slower than Paddon. Richard Mason now back in the groove, 2nd fastest, only 0.2 of a second behind Paddon in the stage and closing in on Dean Sumner in 2nd. Ken Block, though, has now dropped away from the top 3.
Well, maybe the conditions have got something to do with that. Since we saw Ken last time, he's actually been rallying in America and he actually won the last round. He's really enjoying these conditions. Obviously, they're fairly close to what he's got at home.
Left 4 minus into right 2 plus, repeat, 2 plus.
Block, 5th fastest through the stage, 9.4 seconds slower than the stage winner. With another 4th fastest stage time, Chris West was now focusing on closing in on Ken Block's 5th place. Chris now 17.2 seconds behind the American. Patrick Malley dropped time in this stage, 9th fastest. However, he still holds on to 6th by only 0.04 of a second from this man, Sam Murray. That 6th place is significant to Murray. That will be enough to give him the championship title. Dylan Turner was another struggling on the tricky Nelson Forestry roads. Turner now 8th overall and over 2 minutes down on the rally leader.
7
right over fast crest 100.
The battle between Callum McInnes and Nathan Thomas continues. McInnes now has the upper hand with a 21.6 second lead over Thomas, who despite earlier problems is fighting back. He was 3 seconds quicker than McInnes in stage 4. So on to the leaderboard, Hayden Paddon with that 9.3 second lead over second place Sumner. Watch out for that man vying for the championship, Sam Murray in 7th position. As the drivers return to the service park, Sam Murray reflects on his morning.
Sam, if the rally finished as it is now, you wouldn't win the championship.
No, it's been pretty tough. Those 2 stages, probably a little bit cautious for the start, and then just got a slow leak in the rear puncture in the second one. So, it's not great, but with all this rain now, it may help our road position a little.
Being one on the road, that would help.
Yeah, I think so. The cars further back may, get the clay in a little bit slipperier. So, we obviously lost a good chunk of time this morning with sweeping the road. So, it may help us a little bit this afternoon.
So you're holding about the same lead as what you had when we last saw you?
Yeah, that's good. It's good that we've been able to, hold our own against Richard. He's obviously picked up the pace a bit, and no doubt he'll keep getting quicker, so we've got to keep getting quicker as well.
Dean Sumner currently in 2nd place overall.
I've got nothing to lose today or gain really, so yeah, I'm happy just to sort of stay around where I am and just see what I can do without really. I don't want to put the car off or anything silly like that, so just do what I can do. And yeah.
5 stages to go. Sam Murray's struggling. It's getting very interesting.
Yeah, it certainly is. From our perspective, we can't really worry too much about Sam. We can't do a lot about it unless he finishes very, very badly. However, Hayden, we need to make sure that we finish in front of him to get 2nd in the championship.
So we're going to see some fireworks.
Well, we've got a couple more to go yet, but you might see some fireworks towards the end.
Ken Block has dropped time to the top 3 in the last 2 stages.
The roads are very fun. The second time through, I felt pretty good, but got smoked pretty good on stage 3. But, I'm just keeping the car on the road and here to finish, so it's been very fun.
Patrick, great run this morning. You're currently 6th in touch with the leaders.
Yeah, we had a good start. It was quite slippery out there and we didn't have the right tyres for the first run. There was plenty of gravel on the road, even though we're running 12th. But, yeah, we're trying as hard as we can and we're going to try harder in the afternoon.
Of course, Sam Murray's looking over you because he's in 7th and he has to get ahead of you to win the championship.
Yeah, we're going to make him push as hard as he can. We're not going to give it to him easy.
The Ford Fiesta battle had come down to the wire between Kane Barry, who had a 5-point lead over Mark Tapper coming into this round. All Tapper needed to do was win the event. For Barry, he needed Tapper to have some problems, and that's exactly what happened on stage 1. Tapper punctured and lost valuable time. This now gives Kane Barry a big lead of almost 2 minutes. Chris Lang also struggled early on in the Nelson Forest, now 3rd, 33 seconds down on Tapper. That's Dermot Malley further back in 4th place. After securing the Kiwi 2 title on the previous round, Dave Strong now had no pressure on him, but was determined to match Aaron Cook's outright speed. It's looking good for Strong. He now has a 13-second lead over Cook after the first 2 stages.
Kane, things looking good so far. You're leading the class.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of luck on the first stage. Mark got a puncher, unfortunately for him, but fortunately for us, new co-driver, we're just sort of trying to get into it, lacking a bit of confidence in the first couple of stages, so we needed a bit of a helping hand, and that'll do it.
Yeah, we had a puncture about 4 or 5k into stage 1, then we made the mistake of driving on it. We didn't know really, it was quite slippery and didn't know whether it was a puncture or what, and so we lost 2.5 minutes.
Can you get that back?
I'm going to try.
You got a 13-second lead over Aaron?
Yeah, that's good. You got to be brave on that fast stuff. There's some big speeds in there and funny light and a bit of drizzle. It's quite difficult.
Car sounds magic going through the forest.
Yeah, I can hear it in there, and you want to just keep revving it. It sounds great.
With Kane Barry now in a comfortable position leading the Ford Fiesta class, but he didn't expect such a big Mark Tapper comeback. Tapper was in catch-up mode now, only a minute behind, which puts him within striking distance of Barry, going into the service break after stage 4. Dave Strong won the next 2 stages in the Kiwi 2 category and now has a 26.7 second lead over Aaron Cook, who could do nothing about Strong's pace over the Nelson forestry roads. Reg Cook, who challenged Aaron Cook for second early on, has now slipped back into a comfortable 3rd place. Over this man, Andrew Keeley, who appears to be struggling earlier on. To regain his classic title, Robert Murray had to win the classic section. He started well, winning all the morning stages, now with over a 2-minute lead. However, all Ewan Fuge had to do to secure the title was to finish second to Murray, currently on target and second overall. Robert Murray also needed Rob Wiley and Deborah Kibble to finish ahead of Fuge. However, they both dropped out early. So let's look at the leaderboard from 9th to 16th after Special Stage 4. The McInnes and Thomas battle at the top of the page. Further down, Kane Barry and Dave Strong leading their classes. The bad weather has closed in as the crews tackle Special Stage 5, 24k of Kotua's Road. As Hayden Padden battles on, Roger, will these conditions affect the drivers?
They sure will. The biggest problem will be visibility, although the roads are very slippery as well. Now this is where the drivers are going to totally rely on the co-driver.
Padden had to settle for second fastest time, 1.9 seconds slower than this man, Richard Mason, who has won his second stage for the day under extreme conditions.
Come on, 5 left titles over Chris, keep in. 5. Left titles over Chris, keep in. Repeat caution. And right.
By doing so, Richard Mason has now taken second place overall and 10 seconds ahead of Dean Sumner. Dean relegated to third and struggling in the conditions.
And 8 left 60 and long, 5 right tightens for 3.
Ken Block was also in the wars on the same corner as Sumner.
50. The 6 plus 60, long, the right 4 plus.
Block still fourth overall, however, dropping another second to Chris West, who is slowly closing in on Block's 4th place. Even after a spin, Sam Murray now moves into his much-needed 6th place after Patrick Nelly had retired after badly crashing his car. Hayden Padden right on the limit through Special Stage 6, the 8k stage through Spooners Road.
4 left tightens late in 30 for turn 2 with 1 right, 250 to stop.
Padden's time was exceptional, 10 seconds quicker than any other competitor.
Hayden, you're about 12 seconds quicker than Richard through there.
I'm not sure if he had a problem or if there was something wrong with the time, but it wasn't too bad from our respect, just pushing through. There's a bit of fog. The last stage was really bad, just driving to a white wall, so that one wasn't quite so bad, but it's just a matter of trusting the notes, and it was a bit faster in there, which was good.
5 left opens and 6 right.
However, Richard Mason struggled through the very fast Special Stage 6. Mason's 12 seconds slower than Padden, still second overall, now 22.5 seconds down on the young Mitsubishi driver.
It's certainly becoming a little bit slippery, which is what we expected with a bit of rain.
Max Crest 200.
Dean Sumner was the 3rd fastest, now 3rd overall, 10 seconds down on Mason and a comfortable 44 seconds ahead of 4th place driver Ken Block.
Dean, you went through about the same time as Richard, but he's up in the 2nd now.
Yeah, I didn't do a very good time on the stage before this one. It was pretty much 90% fog the whole way through, and full credit to those guys for doing the time they did. I think they took about 9 or 10 seconds out of me, so yeah.
Welcome back to Special Stage 7, another short one, 8.61k through Schultz Road. Hayden Padden continued on his winning way, winning Special Stage 7, but there were some close calls on the way.
The 4 left to Crest, 50.
Richard Mason still keeping in touch with Padden on stage times, only 1 second slower in 7, this being the 2nd quickest in the stage. The biggest problem for Mason is Hayden Paddon, who has a comfortable 23.6 second rally lead with only 2 stages to go. And like Paddon, this crest gives Mason a scare.
And right, and 30 long 4 left. Repeat long 4 left. 40, 2 right minus in junction. Repeat 2 right minus in junction.
Dean Sumner now in a comfortable 3rd place. However, this short stage is starting to catch the drivers out.
Left minus 30.
Ken Block, another to be caught out by the slippery conditions. That was enough for Chris West to close in even further on Block's 4th place overall. Westy now only 10 seconds behind Block. No problems for championship leader Sam Murray, 2nd fastest through stage 6 and now 5th quickest in stage 7. And now he has a comfortable 6th overall. That's all he needs to win the title. Not so lucky for Dylan Turner, the mechanical gremlins creeping in again, hampering the Mitsubishi driver. Callum McInnes is still locked in the battle with Nathan Thomas, overdoing things here. However, it gets worse. McInnes losing time, that enabled Nathan Thomas to move ahead, although a little lucky here. Still, Thomas now has a 9.2 second margin over McInnes. So let's check out the leaderboard after stage 7 as the crews arrive at the service park with Hayden Paddon looking comfortable at the top and Sam Murray now in that much needed 6th position.
Hayden, looks like you've got over a 30-second lead in the rally now, and things looking good for you.
Yeah, that's really good, but it's not all over yet. We've got that 25k stage next, so there's still a lot to play for. We've got to keep going at the same pace because, you know, if we back off, then Richard will take advantage of that, I'm sure.
A lot of rain this afternoon. Visibility as well, problem?
Visibility was very hard in those first 2 of those last 3 stages, so it was just like driving into a white wall and you're just, you know, having complete trust and faith in John with the note. So it was keeping us on our toes. Very interesting anyway.
Richard, looks like 2 stages to go. Hayden's got a big lead, over 30 seconds now.
Yeah, that does make it hard for us, so we'll just have to drive on and see where we finish.
In terms of this afternoon, the wet weather, has that been the problem?
I don't know. Like I thought the wet weather would be good, but obviously it hasn't turned our fortune.
Dean, you had a problem 7. What happened?
Just towards the end there, must have hit some clay. I'm not too quite sure. Really might have been a little bit offline coming into the corner. You could see around it, no worries. But yeah, just a little bit too fast, and the back of the car hit the bank quite hard and brought the front in and dug the front in and spun us around. The thing stalled and couldn't get it going and had to turn around and all sorts. So I lost a whole heap of time and a bit of a shame, but it could have been worse. Could have stuck it on its roof.
Chris, getting to the end of the rally, Ken Block's only 11 seconds behind you. You're going to have a go at him?
Oh, it's you know, we've been changing the car, yeah, for sure. We will. We've just, you know, obviously the last 3 stages we've changed it 3 times, and that the last short 8k is probably the best it felt all day. So hopefully we're heading in the right direction. But yeah, for sure we'll see. We'll certainly keep an eye on him.
Just phoned Chris West, and he's determined to have a crack at you in the last 2.
Well, you can have it. Bring it on. You know, my goal is to finish, though, and 4th or 5th, I'd be happy with either, but hey, I'll try and keep it 4th.
Sam, 2 stages to go. If you stay where you are, you win the championship by 1 point.
Yeah, it's sort of certainly what we're after, and, you know, it has been a pretty tough day. Obviously, this morning, you know, we took it pretty easy and handicapped a little bit, obviously, with road position, and then, you know, I am, you know, even until obviously the bad run for Patrick, you know, I was pretty confident we could just sit there or thereabouts, and then if need be, we could charge towards the end. But, you know, 1 point's 1 point.
Still in trouble was Dylan Turner.
it feels like the rear diff's broken, or like you've got a trailing arm or something like that, or an axle broken, but we can't really seem to find it, so it must be inside the diff. The hanger bearing is a bit loose as well, so it could be something like that. But so we were gonna change the diff, but we haven't really got time now, so we're just gonna maybe cruise through the last 2 stages, see if we can get to the finish.
Stuart, the bad luck continues in the final round. What happened?
We got most of the way through that 24k stage 5, but where the car felt like it had a flat tyre, and we stopped, had a look, no flat tyre, carried on and spun out again on the next corner, and we just had a very bad handling problem, something in the rear. We think it might be the rear diff, so we've withdrawn to keep the car in one piece.
Special Stage 8, a repeat stage of 5 24k through Kotua's Road. Despite the treacherous conditions, Hayden Paddon didn't let up, winning Stage 8 by the large margin of 13.4 seconds. However, he was a little lucky here. Big problems for Richard Mason. With a broken brake line and no brakes for Mason, he was forced to cruise through the stage, dropping him to 3rd overall. That's elevated Dean Sumner into 2nd, 4th quickest through the stage. Ken Block's focus was to stay ahead of Chris West. However, that may have changed. With a struggling Richard Mason, Block has a realistic chance of a podium place.
3 minus, and caution, narrow bridge, that jump left to right.
He was 3rd quickest in the stage. Chris West, however, has turned the wick up, 2nd quickest through 8, and now only 8.7 seconds behind Block. Sam Murray now consolidating his 6th place. He's over 2 minutes ahead of Dylan Turner. Turner, who is dropping more time, struggled with handling issues and will now cruise home to the finish.
Narrow forward.
Nathan Thomas holds on to 8th overall, 5.6 seconds ahead of season rival Callum McInnes. Whoever wins this battle will be rewarded with 5th place overall in the championship. Another amazing drive by Mark Tapper. He lost over 2 minutes earlier to Kane Barry and has now clawed his way back to take an incredible 1.1 second lead over Barry going into the last stage. Dave Strong has a big Kiwi 2 lead, but only 0.4 of a second behind Barry to set up a battle for first 2-wheel drive. Robert Murray with a big lead in the Classics, but it's this man, Ewan Fuge, who looks like taking the title, comfortably 2nd in the day's Classic class. Now on to the last stage, a short blast of 8k through Spooner's Road. Aaron Cook's challenge fell away, struggling through the latter stages to finish in 16th place. 15th overall and 2nd in the Classics, that gave Ewan Fuge his first New Zealand Championship title after 30 years of rallying. He is the new Classic champion. 14th overall was enough to give Andrew Keeley 2nd place overall in the Kiwi 2 Championship. Despite losing his Classic Championship title, Robert Murray took the class honours for this event and 13th overall. Dave Strong blitzed the Kiwi 2 field on this event. His pace even matched the Ford Fiesta, finishing 12th, only 12 seconds down on Kane Barry. Barry had to settle for 2nd in the Fiesta Championship after an outstanding comeback from Mark Tapper, who won the day by 3.4 seconds, securing the Fiesta Championship. Callum McInnes had to concede to rival Nathan Thomas with 9th overall. However, Thomas finished 8th, and that gave him 5th overall in the championship. Dylan Turner nursed his Mitsubishi home to 7th place. With a 2nd place stage time on the final stage and doing what he had to do by finishing in 6th overall, that was enough to give Sam Murray the New Zealand Championship by the smallest margin of 1 point.
Congratulations, Sam. You are the new New Zealand Rally Champion. Well done.
It's been an unbelievable day. You know, we've had all sorts. We've gone slow and had spins. We've gone fast and had spins, and it hasn't really sunk in, to be honest, just after the day. And obviously the weather, you always come here expecting it to be nice and sunny, and really tough conditions. And yeah, it's been a great day.
With brake problems in the last 2 stages, the dejected Richard Mason had to settle with 5th place. which was not the best of seasons for the defending champion.
Richard, looks like you've had a few problems coming into the final 2 stages.
Yeah, Nelson's always one of those rallies where you can have a bit of luck or someone else can have some bad luck. And today it was our turn for a bit of bad luck. So it's been one of those seasons for us, really, that we've had a bit of bad luck. So we'll be back next year and we'll try and do a better job.
Chris West moved up to 4th place, unable to catch Ken Block, though, over the latter stages. Block, however, scored his best ever New Zealand result with a podium place, 3rd overall for the colourful American driver. Dean Sumner also struggled through the latter part of the event. However, he secured a 2nd place result for the rally, a good end to the season for Dean Sumner. Hayden Paddon was in a class of his own on this event. He led early, dominated when the going got tough, and despite puncturing in the last stage, he still won the stage, giving him a winning margin of 1 minute and 30 seconds, securing his 2nd New Zealand Championship rally win and finishing only 1 point behind Sam Murray in the title race.
4:22 that time.
You've got to punch it.
Sorry?
Got to punch it.
Yeah.
Hayden, congratulations. You've done what you wanted to do. You come here to Nelson, you conquered, you won the rally.
Yeah, it's fantastic to win the rally, and it wasn't by fortune or anything. We sort of stayed out front from the word go. So it's promising for next year as well that we've got the speed, and we tried our best, and we gave our championship the best chance. So that's great.
From the championship point of view, second in the championship, only by 1 point.
It's not too bad. Like in hindsight, we've exceeded our expectations this year, and Sam drove really well and deserves it. So we'll come back next year and we'll go one better next year.
Of course, you do have a championship because you are the junior champion again.
Yeah, that's a bonus. Cheers.
So let's look back at the results of the Rally of Nelson. Hayden Paddon way out in front, winning the event over Dean Sumner and Ken Block. Chris West finishing in 4th, and look at Sam Murray grab that 6th place to secure his championship title. Mark Tapper secured 10th place, Robert Murray 13th, and Ewan Fuge grabbed a 15th place, and that was enough to give him the classic title. Dave Strong won the Kiwi 2 title, and Mark Tapper secured the Ford Fiesta title.
Congratulations, Mark. You won the Ford Fiesta title.
It was sort of a hard-fought day for myself today by getting a puncture in the first stage, but pretty satisfied with the result in the end.
You had to do what you've done in virtually every round, is just fight back.
Yeah, it was sort of a bit funny, that it comes down to the last round, and we sort of was the first time we had a real challenge on our hands, and we after having the puncture, we worked out how many seconds we had to make up and how many Ks we had to do it, and we found the pace pretty quickly and sort of stuck at the same pace, and we came away with a bit to spare at the end, so it was good.
And from here, I believe you're off overseas to drive one.
Yeah, well, with winning the Fiesta Championship means now we get to go to England for the Fiesta shootout, and we'll see what comes of that.
So let's take a look at the points, and it couldn't get any closer. Sam Murray securing the title by 1 point over Hayden Paddon, and defending champion Richard Mason 3rd.
Thank you very much, Craig. Sam, congratulations. You've achieved your dream. You're New Zealand Rally Champion.
Oh, it's an unbelievable feeling. As soon as it happens, that last stage for about the last 2Ks, I don't even remember the last 2Ks. You've got so much going through your mind, and at the end, it's hard to take in. But we set out to win the championship this year, and that's what's happened.
Rob, congratulations for the 6th time you're New Zealand champion.
Yeah, thanks, Roger. It feels pretty special, actually. It's won 5 with Bruce Herbert, and this elusive one that I've been chasing, Bob Haldane, had 5, and I always wanted to go one better, so it feels pretty special.
Another fantastic end to another amazing season. The Vantage Aluminium New Zealand Rally Championship winds up with Sam Murray taking the spoils. This is Darcy Watergrave on behalf of Roger Davis saying join us again next year, and remember, drive it like you stole it.
the opening North